Got a 56 step side bed trailer. A lot of these were built years ago. A lot of them you don't see no more. They're usually junk. What people would do is they would take a truck and they would, maybe the front end was wrecked or something, and they would cut the back off. And this was back before they had commercially available trailers, and they would cut the frame and then they would just fashion it to a trailer, and then they would have a trailer, and it would retain the stock suspension of whatever bed they chose to use. A lot of times it was leaf springs. The years before that they did coil, like this bed would have had coil springs, and some of the guys that pulled those trailers realized how unstable they were because of the layout that was under it. It was the suspension would have been right at the front of the bed where it tied in. And but a lot of times when you hear somebody say, I built a trailer, they basically did some modification right here. They cut it and they modified it to a tongue. And I kind of approached it a different way. I took the bed off of a truck, and then I took measurements of the bed, and I actually built a trailer to fit it. And so what I done was I built a whole chassis for the trailer to fit the bed. So none of this is an old 56 chassis. It's 3-inch angle. It's bagged. It's got a Watts link type assembly under it. That come from a 2010 Cobalt, and it ties into the axles, beam axle. Those shocks came off of a 2012 Dakota. Stover nuts, so no chance of them backing off. Torqued up just enough to where you can spin them with a wrench like they're supposed to be. Those are called front axle overload isolators. They're not bump stops, but that's what I use them for. I got 2 studs, and they work really well. This is a beam axle with the airbag plate, and Maxima. They come from a Nissan, and the cross member come from a Chevy Cobalt. So we got Chevy, Nissan, and those rubber overload isolators, they come from a 6x6 T-Rex. 6x6 T-Rex. Look them up. They're the heaviest trucks on the road, and they run airbags. This one's running 1/2-inch lines just to a fill valve in the front. It's got an 18-inch spare, and it comes down like a normal pickup truck. It's under this rail for a little more protection. It's got a same as the lug nut. It's actually same size, so you don't have to have 2 different things, just 1 lug wrench. And it's got this tube bumper on it. When you let it the whole way down, you can still pull it. It doesn't drag. A man could add drag blocks to the bottom to make sparks if you wanted. That wasn't our intention. Our intention was to have something dependable. The goal was to have a sleeper of sorts, something that was dependable to pull and would be reliable. And we close them in right there and put the little tiny tail lights in they sell now, the little push-ins. It's got a wood bed floor, metal center strip. It's got some tie-ins down here at the front, so each corner's got a tie. You can haul a motorcycle in it good and nice. It's got these reflectors on the front. They're real bright at night. It's got these stand downs right here in case you want to, say you want to let the jack up and flip it up, and you could use them flips downs to do that. And they're real easy to operate. And they lock in, and they're there. The other tongue's got one too. So that kind of helps if you want to stabilize the trailer. If you're going to be pulling a motorcycle up in it and you don't want a bunch of, you ain't got a truck hooked to it, you can flip those down, and that provides a little bit more stability. Keeps the these right here from hitting the ground if you ain't got the jack positioned up. This jack's a little bit unique as well. It'll flip up. In fact, I'll just show you. Got time. So those right there let down like that. This one does the same thing. Lets down like that, and then we can let the jack down. Just for demonstration purposes here. Then pull that pin, flip that up like that, and then we pull this, spin it around, pull your jack in just a little bit more, spin it around, lock it in, and then now you got clear under your tongue. Your jack stays up out of the way on top of the tongue, and you can pull it down the road that way. And actually, you do this operation once you had it either hooked to the truck or you have these stabilizers in place. And so now I think, since I've showed you kind of the other aspects of the trailer, I'm going to go ahead and show you how it does when you let it down. Open this up. Let's see here. Alright. This is just to let it down. It'll let it down kind of slow, but you'll see how low it goes here. A lot of them talk about tucking. So this will tuck. That's where she lands. And basically at that height, we've got the front's a little bit higher and it's leaning down in the back, so most of the time your tongue will be level. It's what it's designed to do on most hitches. But as you can see, we've got about a 2x4's width of room, and that's it.